I want to talk about a little bit the impact that misunderstanding reality has, or the impact of thinking one way today versus realizing tomorrow that way was false, was incorrect. And I've got 3 different levels or 3 different intensities to how much of an impact this can have. So we go from the lowest level, which is kind of, it's innocuous, low harm. And this is something like thinking that an actor was in a movie that they weren't actually in. So it's like, it is a misunderstanding of reality, but it doesn't really affect too much. Maybe you get into an argument over it. Maybe you get into a barroom brawl over it, but hopefully not. But it doesn't really impact too much. Then we've got like medium harm, which I found a word that is kind of like that level of intensity for me, which is deleterious, which is like, it's subtle. You don't realize how much harm it's doing, but over time it starts to add up. And so an example for this would be like, we humans used to think that the Earth orbits around the sun. Now, initially, that doesn't seem like that big of an issue. Like, it doesn't matter too much, especially when you're only concerned with what is on Earth, like the sun, that the Earth actually orbits around the sun. But when you start going outward, going into space travel and looking at, okay, how do we navigate the universe? Then it is important to understand, okay, the Earth is actually orbiting the sun, as are the other planets.
Yes, so I'll just correct you there. So initially you meant that the sun orbited, we believed that the sun orbited around the Earth, that the Earth was the center. And since we've realized that the Earth actually orbits around the sun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry if I said it backwards.
No, that's all right. I just wanted to correct it.
Thanks. That's good.
Yeah.
And then the last level of how harmful it can be, which is a high level of harm, which I've classified as like dangerous. And an example I've got for this is that the President George Washington, first president, I think, of America, he died because doctors were bleeding him out to cure him from a cold. I think it was a cold or a flu or something like that. They believed that bleeding a person would actually cure them from this. And now we've come to realize over time, oh, hang on, that's the worst thing that you can do. In fact, like the first thing you do when someone has an injury is stop the bleeding. So, it's like the exact opposite. So that kind of gives you an example of, okay, they're the levels of harm. And yeah, regardless which level you're at, there's always some price that you're paying. So we want to always be as accurate as possible.